Good evening. This is the Personnel and Administration Committee. It is now 6:15. With me, I have our Vice Chair, Councilor Stephanie Infante from District D, Councilor Estela Reyes from District B, Councilor from District A, which is joining us online, Councilor De La Cruz. Before I begin, I will read the following. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Personnel Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. I remind you that persons who would like to listen to or view this meeting while in progress may either attend in person at the location here at the City Council chambers, or go to our Facebook or YouTube, or join us through Zoom. If you could please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. November 7th, 2022.
So move.
There's a motion. There's a second. Motion's been made.
Yes.
And the chair. It sounds like she's not going to be joining us. The council president is here. Are you planning on speaking on this? If asked. No, so I'm not going to ask unless you're interested in speaking on it. Sounds like you're not. It's okay. Yeah. All right. So this was. So from what I understand. Their personnel emailed these council president, who then emailed it to, I believe, the rest of us. These were the names that were saying were certified. There were a few questions that were asked as this is a change in the process, because last time we made a vote to get the certified results. Here we're automatically receiving it. Don't quite understand why that process was changed, but we also asked if it sounds like there was no paid posts, that there's been no additional postings requested. The department, as we all know, no longer has an advertising budget. It wasn't clear to me why. I think in when we were in the city council meeting, we did ask or suggested, requested as part of that motion to see if the mayor could put some money for advertising costs. It does not look like that was asked for. Perhaps the mayor said no on that. There was another question by Councilor Infante regarding who else has applied besides these three. Councilor Infante, do you recall what the answer was?
She said that those are the three that she saw last time she checked. And she mentioned that she was away from her office. At her last review, applicants, the three applicants were the applicants that she had. So that was the answer.
Okay, so we don't know how many other people applied to this position. So that's the info that I have. I don't know if questions.
So I do have a question. I don't know if you have the answer.
One second. Councilor Infante had her hands raised up first. Go ahead, Councilor Infante.
Thank you. And clarification, do we know, aside from the advertising budget, I'm assuming we won't know this because Director is not here with us, but part of that motion was to request an external firm of some sort to help with other means of advertising. I'm assuming that might have not been done either, since there's a question about advertising monies.
I'm going to assume, I did not ask that question, but if they did not put money to advertise, then I'm going to assume that they did not get a consultant as well. Counselor Reyes?
So in this case, because we don't have anyone to answer the question that we might have at this moment, so what do you think we can do? Are we gonna, can we send the 3 names up? Is that something legal that we can do, or this is something that we have to double check just to be saved?
So, I mean, I think it depends on the committee. You know, personally, I have questions that I'm gonna try to get answers for, and there was an interest for us to get this HR person to help us post, that I don't think, you know, perhaps what wasn't done. So, I mean, we can take it 2 ways. We could potentially move it up, if that is the committee's choice. I think that there were definitely, the last time the discussion, there were folks that were looking for something different to be done with the process. Or we could, you know, ask the director to come back at another meeting to answer questions, or we could sort of, I mean, we could do anything with it. We could say, at this point, you know, keep it open. We can say, I mean, it's different because we don't know if there were other names along with these. And I remember, you know, in at least one of the searches that we did, one of the questions that we had were like, who else had applied? And essentially she said that she could only give us the certified names, but if we wanted to see who else, she could give us like everybody who had applied. So it's up to us where we want to go.
I think Councilor De La Cruz had her.
Had a question, but she's no longer.
Okay, so I can make a motion to send all the 3 names up if we don't want to be delayed in the process, since we are in a great need of getting this done.
Councilor Infante.
Thank you. I don't feel comfortable sending this up to the full council. I think there are too many questions. I don't think it's appropriate to have this conversation via email. I believe Director LaGreca should have at least signed into the Zoom to answer the questions, knowing that this was going to be a topic of discussion. But I would have to disagree with my colleague on this.
Councilor De La Cruz, you had a question?
Yes. Thank you, Councilor Payano.
Of course.
Councilor Payano, I believe the 3 persons that are that were sent to us, we should have that the personal committee should be doing the interviews or the 3 candidates, and then the one that we
Councilor De La Cruz, let's just pause for 1 second. I'm going to see, we're going to, I'm going to have you say what you're saying again, because you're breaking up. If you can just repeat the last part, see if it works.
I believe the way that we did it before, why don't we take the 3 candidates to the personal committee, and then from the personal committee, we interview the 3 of them, and then we pick the last 2. And then we send it to the full council. Because otherwise, we're going to keep interviewing people that we don't know them well. I think that when we stop at the personal committee, we had the
Councilor Cruz, that is also an option. I think what you might be hearing from your colleagues, at least self, and what Councilor Infante just mentioned, is that there are several questions regarding on how this was posted. If you recall, I think that what we had requested were for this to be posted on several professional websites where you would have to pay to post. We also requested to hiring an HR person to help us find a recruiter, to help us find somebody. According to the emails that we got, I don't know if there was a request put in or if it was just that because personnel no longer has money for marketing, that money for marketing is now in the mayor's office. They did not have money to do that request. I don't know if it was so I think there's a lot of question, Councilor Cruz, that I'm unable to answer, and unfortunately, Director LaGreca wasn't able to be here today. So I think, so we have our option. We could send this to the full council. We could interview the people here in the committee, and we also could pause this to have the director explain things a little bit more. I'm in particular interested in seeing if anybody else had applied to this. Go ahead, Counselor.
At this point, I think we should stop the meeting. And the request that we have to send another letter to the mayor's office through the personnel department that they have to follow our steps. Our request was get help from some recruiters. Secondly, they
Councilor Cruz, can you repeat the second part?
will have to provide the money to advertise. That was our request. We need no excuses when it comes to money. We are asking for things that we need, and we need to get it. Then it makes no sense that we continue with this meeting where we have no answer to anything. Can we please send another letter to the personnel department, to the mayor and the personnel department, requesting what we have asked? At this point, we have no excuses. If they don't have the money, they have to find the money for that.
So, Councilor Cruz, are you stating that in the form of a motion?
Yes, I'm making.
Okay, so just to be clear, I believe that the motion is to send correspondence to the personnel department and the mayor's office to request that money be allocated to advertise this position and to hire a recruiter to help us find applicants applicants to apply, to help us find people to apply to this position. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made in second. We'll roll call. Councilor Infante?
Yes.
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Cruz?
Yes.
And the chair votes in affirmative. That being said, can we also send correspondence to the director requesting her to join us at the next meeting? Is there, so Councilor Cruz makes a motion to send correspondence to Director of Personnel to be here at our next meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
We'll do a roll call vote. Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Infante?
Yes.
Councilor Cruz?
Yes.
And the chair votes in affirmative. Councilors, is there anything else you would like to take up with this item? Is there a motion to table, or do we want to still discuss?
Motion to table.
There's a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion's been made, properly second. We'll move to a roll call vote. Councilor Infante?
Yes.
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Cruz?
Yes.
Chair votes in affirmative. Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
Has been seconded by Councilor Cruz. We'll move to a roll call vote. Councilor Infante?
Yes.
Councilor Reyes? Councilor Cruz?
Yes.
And the chair votes in affirmative as well. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.